Pate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Okay, we're still studying where Vidhura is on his pilgrimage and he's having this conversation with Uddhava. And Vidhura asked, does the Lord only come to save his devotees in these three abodes? Uddhava shook his head. Although Krishna himself only appears in those three places, the all-pervading Lord manifests his Vishnu avatars in the same way wherever his devotees are provoked. I really like this word provoked. I mean, not that I like to be provoked or like provoking, but in this context, the word provoked is like whenever devotees are in danger, whenever devotees are disturbed, not only by external demons, we must make a note here that Krishna can appear, can manifest in different forms, different ways, different situations, even to combat the internal enemies, internal triggers, such as our anarthas. And it's not for no reason that it's not without reason that Bhakti Vinod Thakur compares the demons that Krishna killed in his Leelas to the anarthas. So the point is Krishna is appearing to us, manifesting to us if we want, if we let him in, if we open the doors where he's standing at the door, then he does save us from those anarthas taking over and taking the lead. So I always meditate that kind of deeper meaning whenever I see about how the Lord appears, when the Lord appears. The appearance of the Lord is not just a geographical event, or it's not just a event based on fixed things which are never flexible. It's very, Krishna appears because of the bhava and the feelings of the devotees. He doesn't just appear because of schedules, oh, this is scheduled to be and this is what will be and there will be nothing else. And there are so many examples for that, like Balaji incarnation is one of that. He came because of the devotees' desires, Yashoda Maiya's desire to see him being married, and Vedavati's desire to marry the Lord. So Krishna appears to save that devotion. And I like this point that Krishna manifests avatars in the same way wherever his devotees are provoked. That's the Shastra. It's so many times. Nashinga avatar, appearing to Dhruva Maharaj in his beautiful form and putting his conchal on Dhruva Maharaj's forehead. I'm also particularly thinking of Sadbhuj Bhagavan, because I have Sadbhuj in my house. Sadbhuj Bhagavan is the form of Krishna, Rama, and Gauranga all together. He appeared. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in that form to show that I am Krishna, I am Balaram, I am Krishna, I am Rama, and I am Lord Chaitanya. Like that. And then there are so many forms of the Lord. I'm thinking of Pandarinath and Panduranga and Rukmini Devi in Pandarapur. It's another incarnation. He appeared because a devotee was so dedicated to his father and mother. He was serving, and then he was a devotee. And then the Lord appeared at the door saying, I'm here. And the devotee was so busy serving his parents, he threw a brick and he said, my dear Lord, wait there. I'm serving my parents. I'll come to you. And earlier he was negligent about the same service to his parents. And the Lord was so pleased. And of course, Rukmini Devi also came there. So they both stood on the brick with their hands on their hips, standing there waiting for the devotee to pay attention to them. And like that, so many forms of the Lord where Krishna appeared, manifested whenever devotees are provoked. And I'm adding this externally and internally too. Internally too. When Narada Muni was, when Narada Muni's mother died, when he was a young boy, in the previous life, I mean to say, in his previous life, Narada Muni's mother died, and he was so eager to see the Lord. He was meditating, etc. And Krishna appeared to him. But then he disappeared and said, that's it, this lifetime you won't see me again. Like that, so many innumerable devotees, Krishna appears and they are provoked. Another instance I'm remembering is Hathiram Babaji in Tirupati. He was a great devotee of the Lord, and he was punished by the king because of certain allegations that he stole the Lord's jewelry, whereas the truth was extreme. The Lord himself had given him the jewelry because the Lord had lost the match of playing dice game. The Lord had lost the game with the Babaji, and he had lost his jewelry. What do you call? He had put the jewelry as his stake. So he lost the stake. And Balaji begged the devotee, please, that ring is given by Padmavati. Please give me, I need that ring. She'll be upset if I go back to the altar without the ring. That was such a sweet pastime. And then Babaji is like, I'm sorry, my dear Lord, you lost it. It's mine now. And the Lord had also put at stake his uttariya, the chadar, no? And then the Lord is like, I can't go without the top part of my clothes, please give it to me. The Mangalarti is going to begin there. Uttishta, Uttishta, Govinda, Uttishta, Garudadvaja. They're already starting their prayers to wake me up. I can't go like this. And Babaji is like, I'm sorry, my dear Lord, you lost this game, So, and then later on, they punished this devotee because they did find the jewelry of the Lord in his chambers. They found that the guy probably had stolen it, and he tried to explain, I didn't steal it. Krishna came and played dice game with me, and everybody's like, yeah, Krishna came and played dice game with you. They were all like incredulous. Then finally, the king put him in the prison, and then he put kilos, hundreds and hundreds of kilos of sugarcane, and he told, oh, if you're as powerful and the Lord really does appear to you and all that kind of stuff, let's see, by the end of the day, let's see you finish all this sugarcane, and then we'll see how you're strong and powerful. So they put him in this prison with this sugarcane. And Babaji just sat down and started chanting. He just started chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And from nowhere, inside the Duncan dark prison cell, appeared an elephant, a huge elephant. And the elephant started to chew up all that sugarcane and finish the task that was put upon this Hathiram Babaji. And right after that, the prison guards looked at this elephant. They were like, what is going on? How can there be an elephant inside this prison house? We're all guarding this. So many soldiers are here. How is it even possible? And then when they tried to capture that elephant, the elephant just went through the wall and just disappeared and started running away. And then the king also got his realization, tried to see how this is not an ordinary person. The body is with him. And then amazing things happened after that. That's a whole story of how Hathiram Babaji was established as a great devotee there. So the point is, Krishna appears again and again and again and again, countless number of times. According to the mood of the devotee, according to when they are provoked, when they are in need, when they are surrendered. and so on and so forth. Also, there is a devotee called Ramadasa. Interestingly, he even appeared to a Muslim king. That Muslim king had a curse from his previous life. He was worshipping Lord Shiva, and he thought he had worshipped Lord Shiva for 100 days, but actually he had mistaken. He had missed one day, and it was only 99. And so Shiva didn't appear. And the Muslim king, I mean, the previous life guy, previous life devotee Shiva, got so angry that he destroyed the linga. And then obviously he got cursed to be born as a Muslim guy, like Muslim man, without devotional inclination or devotional remembrance. But then the guy, the man who did the puja told, come on, I did 99 days, I must get some reward. Not just, okay, I didn't finish the puja, fine, I made a mistake thinking that you should have appeared and I destroyed the linga, but I get something for 99 days. And then Mahadev, Lord Shiva said, fine, you can have darshan of Lord Ram in your life, next life. And that was his benediction. And so this king, he tortured Ramadasa because of some false allegations again. And at the end of it, when he realizes that Ramadasa built this temple not with the stolen money, but he actually worked really hard to raise those funds, and he didn't take anything from the king. He realizes that when one night, two people appear in his room, in his inner chambers of this Muslim king, and they appear there, and they introduce themselves as Ramoji and Lakshmoji, and then they come and give him bags of gold and silver. Actually, there's a whole pastime about how much money was spent for the temple building and how much money was spent for the jewelry of the Lord and everything. There are songs and songs and songs about it. So I'm remembering the songs in a movie. They made a movie about Ramadasu, and there are all these songs and songs that he composes while he's in prison. He's put in prison for several years, actually. And then when this Ramoji, Lakshmoji appear there in front of the king and give him the money, and the king is like, who allowed you inside my inner chambers anyway? And then Lakshmoji becomes angry, as he is very temperamental towards the king and all that. And the king is like, fine, I'll take this coins and I'll release your Ramdasa. Fine. And then he suddenly wakes up and sees that, oh my God, it wasn't a dream. There was really the coins right there. And not just the coins. On those coins, there was the print of Lord Ram on it. And the next day, the king takes this coins and shows it to the ministers. And the ministers are all like, flabbergasted. They were just like, what is this? They're just so amazed because this kind of coin never existed anywhere on the planet. And then they realize that, oh my goodness, Rama, Lakshmana themselves personally come to give these coins to this Muslim king. And then when Ramadasa hears of the release of his news, the news of his release from the prison, he is more saddened than relieved, because he hears that Rama, Lord Rama, his life and soul, to whom he completely dedicated himself, spent years in prison, had given darshan to a Muslim king and not to him. So Ramadasa just goes completely crazy, completely, transcendentally crazy, and he gets into this transcendental depression and all that. So the point I'm saying is how the Lord appears and manifests whenever his devotees are provoked. So there are so many examples. So let us not be stuck with thinking that it is only in the avatars that we know of. There are so many incarnations. Krishna appears again and again and again. If not incarnations, he manifests in different forms. And I'm even thinking of Jesus. Jesus appeared to so many devotees way long after he left. Even recently, like I know certain people, like I have some friends who are Christians, that Jesus appeared to them. And gave them instructions, gave them powers to preach, etc., 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 like that. For also Srimad Bhagavatam for us as devotees of Krishna is expanded in the form of all the devotees, all the acharyas, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhavendra Puri, all the other associates of Lord Chaitanya. This is all an extended Bhagavatam. It's a version which extends. So its Bhagavatam is not just 5,000 years ago, but it is something that extends in our lives, and the stories of all these great devotees, Purandaradasa, Kanakadasa, and all the pastimes are extending, continuing. This is our Lord. This is power. This is his power to manifest his leelas as a response to the emotions, the bhavas, and the intention of the devotees and the desire of the devotees. So, my dear friends, let us not waste our strength, our will, our desires on trivial material things and worries. Let us allow the Lord to manifest in our heart. Varo manake he Srinivasa. Please let us welcome the Lord into our hearts. Papina nembeya Shripati ninna namake. So we are sinners, so many sins, but for the Lord, ಬೆಟ್ಟದಂತ ಪಾಪವನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತಿರುವೆ ನಾನು ಅದ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡು ಸುಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡು ಸುಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡು ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲಯ್ಯ ನೀನು. Yes, I carry mountains and mountains and mountains of sins, my dear Lord, but for Krishna, one holy name of Krishna, oh Govinda, oh Krishna, oh Jagannath, oh Gopinath, one holy name can destroy mountains and mountains and mountains of sins. What to speak of our anarthas, what to speak of all the blocks in our life. That is, my dear friends, the faith in the holy name, is the power of the holy name. And Krishna is the holy name. Krishna is the holy name. So Krishna is non-different from the holy name, is Nam Prabhu. Krishna manifests himself as the holy name. Yesterday I was feeling very agitated, and I was asking the devotee, what should I do? I'm feeling so agitated. And the devotee said, chant Hare Krishna. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And then I started chanting Hare Krishna. So yeah, that's the cure. That's the medicine. Srimad Bhagavatam and the holy name, they are the medicines when our mind is provoked by circumstances and agitated. So yeah, thank you. Let's continue reading. If somebody can continue this reading, please. Thank you. Anybody?
Yeah. Again, 1 second. Gaura. Again, Uddhava fell silent, tears flowing down his face. Vidhura placed an arm around his shoulders. My dear friend, why do you grieve? You have just explained to me that Krishna exists eternally in his abodes here on earth, although he is not always visible to our eyes. Does this knowledge not console you? Wiping his tears, Uddhava smiled. Until recently, I would grieve just remembering how the Lord took birth in Kamsa's dungeon. I would wonder why the all-powerful Lord was smuggled to Vrindavan out of fear of his enemies. When I spoke to the Lord in private, he enlightened me. Now my lamentation is gone. Still tears streamed from Uddhava's eyes, Vidura said. Yet, you still weep. Why? Uddhava slowly regained his composure and replied, when I remember Krishna's conduct, full of full of humility and charm, my heart is overwhelmed with emotion. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, yet, along with his brother Balarama, he would bow to his parents and humbly say, Father, Mother, forgive us because we could not serve you due to our great fear of Kamsa. A gentle breeze carried the fragrance of lotus flowers, which reminded Uddhava of Krishna. Who could ever forget the enchanting fragrance of his lotus-like feet? Wiping his tears with his shawl, Uddhava said, the faithless challenge me. They say, how can Krishna be God? He had earthly parents and other worldly relatives exactly like you and me. I just laugh. Could an ordinary man have destroyed the powerful demons who were burdening the earth merely by raising an eyebrow? Uddhava took hold of Vidura's hand. You were present when Krishna slew Shishupal. You saw how he gave liberation even to the hateful man by merging Shishupala's soul into his own body. What to speak of liberation? Those who died in his presence as he drove Arjuna's chariot on the battlefield of Kurukshetra achieved prema and entered his eternal spiritual kingdom. Uddhava's face radiated bliss as he glorified Krishna. Even though he is always mild and merciful, Krishna is the Almighty Lord of the three planetary systems. He controls the three modes of nature, and he is the origin of the three Purusha avatars. He is worshipped by the universal controllers who bow their heads at his feet. Knowing of his greatness, my heart aches when I remember his sweetness and humility. Uddhava recalled how Krishna took the position of King Ugrasena's minion servant. He would bow before the king and say, my lord, if it pleases you, may I submit the following? Again, remembering Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, Uddhava cried out, alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than Krishna? He even granted the position of a mother to the she-demon Putana, who offered him deadly poison smeared on her breast. Seeing Vidura's puzzled expression, Uddhava explained how Putana had attempted to kill baby Krishna, who instead killed her by sucking out her life breath along with her poisoned breast milk. He then sent her to the spiritual world to enjoy eternal loving pastimes with him in a maternal relationship. Uddhava continued, how fortunate were the demons who were killed in the battle of Krishna, for they...
Okay, let's pause here. This line reminds me. Patita pavana hetu tavavatara mosama patita prabhu napai veara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is no other incarnation more merciful than the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya. Nobody in the entire three worlds. No one as merciful as Lord Chaitanya. Moshama Patita Prabhu, Napai Beara, never find. You can never ever find a master like Mahaprabhu. So merciful. And even in Jagai Madai situation, there were such sinners, right? Like Putana here, Krishna gave her a position of nurse in the spiritual world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered the most sinful Jagai and Madai. So sins, my dear friends, sins is not something that can get in the way, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't even see sins as an obstacle. He can just, that's it, sin's over, difficult character defects, I'll take care. Mahaprabhu is there. And it is said that when we go in front of the deities, and Lord Nityananda, he's so much in ecstasy that his eyes are so filled with tears that he cannot even recognize when people come in the front, he cannot even see the faults of the devotees. In fact, Krishna in his Vishnu Sahasranam, it is one of his names is that he actually there are two versions, okay? One version of Krishna's description is that he doesn't see the faults of his devotees. Krishna is like just incapable of rejecting a devotee, no matter what they have done. He just doesn't count those things when it comes to devotion towards him. He just is like, he just sees the devotees' positive things. He only sees his Bhavagrahi Janardana. He only sees the mood. So Putana committed a grave, forget about sin. So she is such a grave sin that she tried to poison Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet he didn't count her faults. He didn't count her character defects. He knows, I mean, he cannot be tricked, obviously. He knows that this woman had a very evil, this demoness had a very evil intention of killing the Lord. So, hey, come on, where's the bhava here? We're talking about bhava, the Lord manifests according to bhava. What does it mean, bhava? How does she have any bhava except wanting to kill the Lord? Yeah, she had the bhava, the mood and the intention to harm the Lord. Yet her actions were of such of a mother, of a nurse. She actually fed the Lord milk. So, oh, Krishna is like, oh, you see there, he's always trying to look like, opposite of human beings. We're always trying to look for faults and flaws. Where is the dal mein kuch kala hai? Like if there is some bunch of dal, we try to see where's a mistake. There's a white cloth. Oh, this is a black spot here. And Krishna is a person who's the opposite. He's trying to see, okay, her intentions is really wrong. That's okay, but is there anything in action that she did good? Oh yeah, oh my God, she's trying to feed me. How sweet is that? He's forgetting the fact that she's trying to feed poison. And he's like, she's feeding me. Okay, I'll give her the destination of a nurse in the spiritual world. Jai Ho. That is Krishna, okay? So he is Bhavagrahi Janardana. He knows how to take the best bhava in that, all that chaotic, evil-minded plot to kill Krishna. There was a little element of goodness, which was, she thought, let me feed Krishna. Let me feed Krishna. And that's it. Krishna took that. So that is Krishna. So why do we do the opposite? We look at ourselves, we look at our lives, and we find everything we can lament about, instead of looking and saying everything we can be grateful for. So today is an opportunity for us to make a list of things that we are grateful. All those difficulties Krishna saved us from. Kunti Devi wrote all the prayers, all the difficulties Krishna saved them from. And forgive the others, forgive ourselves, and take shelter of the one who's most merciful. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. That's the most merciful of all incarnations. So, and meditate on this fact. Negativity is only amongst the deceased people of this world. Krishna is not covered by insecurities. He doesn't have conditioning. When it says that Krishna is not conditioned by the three modes of material nature, it doesn't mean, oh, he doesn't sleep too much, he doesn't eat too much, he doesn't get angry unnecessarily. Not that, just that. Three modes of material nature keeps us conditioned to think that this is good, this is bad, this is a no, I did these things which is wrong 3 years ago. I did this. I'm not in the best place I can be. I should be in a better place. This is being conditioned by material modes. And Krishna is not conditioned by material modes. He accepts us exactly as we are. And he gives us every opportunity to progress. Just have to open the door. He's waiting at the door. We let him in. Let Krishna in. And who says our lives should have been different? What is better? What is worse? It's all conditionings. It's all in our mind. Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Ei bhalo, ei mondo sab monodharma." To think that in this world, this is good, this is bad, it's all an illusion. Everything in this world is bad. Everything in this world can be good, depending on how we use it. A knife, is it a good thing or a bad thing? It depends. You use a knife to cut vegetables for Krishna. Oh yeah, it's a good thing. You use that knife to hurt others. Oh yeah, it's a bad thing. But good and bad, it's all relative. It's all very illusion in this world. So we are feeling down. We're feeling like a failure in life. Okay, let me take that and use it in Krishna's service. Krishna likes when we are humble, when we humble ourselves. And Krishna gives us support when we go to him. My dear Father, I'm down. Please lift me up. Like Arjuna, such a great warrior. He was so vulnerable. Oh, Krishna, I can't do this anymore. Okay, Krishna says, fine, I'll lift you up. Don't worry. So that's our dear Krishna. So Krishna loves you. You're not alone in this world. And let us all support each other to remind each other of this fact. Any questions, comments, any share realizations? Any stories?
Yeah, I had two things. I was just remembering about that song. Parama Karanam Dvijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. There's no other incarnation
Mm.
who is much more merciful than Gaurnitai. That's just one of my
Anything that,
favorites.
anything that,
Yeah, sorry.
can you sing that?
Another song with Parama Karuna Dvijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Bayarata Satyamani Ivananda Kanta Dekarai Tribhuvanai Isan Bayarata Parama Karna Jana Nitai Ramachandra. Right. So apart from this, one more thing that I was thinking, yeah, about Putana actually, I wanted to share. Uh, Putana, right? That Baba Grahi thing. In her previous life, right? She's actually said to be the sister of Hiranyakashipu, or I don't remember the personality, some demon that Krishna will come to like kill. And then she'll be the sister of this demon. And then she will just, when she looks at Krishna, and she'll be like, oh my God, so much, that motherly affection will come to him, will kind of,
Bali
embrace her.
Maharaj, huh? She was a sister of Bali Maharaj.
Yeah, Bali Maharaj, exactly. So she'll be like, so much filled with, this motherly affection for this little one. And then she'll say, I wish I could be the mother. And then immediately when he comes, he comes and what do you say, kills Bali, then she'll be like, oh my God, I want to like kill this person, like that. So both emotions, both desires she'll have. So that's why in her next life, she'll be born as a demon because she has a stronger desire to do that, but she also had that intense desire during those few seconds or whatever minutes that she wanted to be the mother. So that Baba also Krishna doesn't forget, and then grants her that position of what do you say, maid servant, what is it, one of those helpers of Yashodamai, right? So
Yeah.
all the desires, he just like keeps it. And I was just like, slowly, this realization is coming that all these demons that Krishna kills, right? Of course, they like represent one of the anarthas, like how Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj says. But also, these people are not like ordinary people.
Right.
They were like all saints. So somebody in the previous life, some small offense, and they would have got cursed to be born as that Kaliya serpent. And that's how it is. So Krishna is just like, of course, he's giving mercy, but then the cumulative, devotional
Mm.
service that soul has done, he's seeing all that also. It's not like he's not taking that into consideration. Krishna is taking care of that. But when we look at our Bharnatai, oh my God, they're not even considering all that serious qualification. Whether qualified or not, they're just saying, please chant, and then, we'll take you back. That's
Yeah.
why there is like this I don't know which Goswami or which Mahajan who said that if a person has, I have that in my Facebook sometime, I can share that.
Mhm.
He said, if a person has intense faith in both Mahaprabhu, Gaura Mahaprabhu, and Sri Vrindavan Dham, right? Then when he
Mm.
leaves his body that time, Mahaprabhu himself will personally come and take him to Vrindavan, and ready to be part of, be in his original identity, spiritual identity, and serve, Radha Govinda. Like, I was like, wow, that's so sweet, right? So sweet. Who would do that?
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I want to add to this very important realization what you just shared. Also, that we don't know our spiritual desires from previous life, our sukriti is not by chance that you all got to be connected to Krishna consciousness, to Prabhupada, that you got your spiritual masters. It's not ordinary. It's definitely unconditional mercy. But as Tarani was saying, we also had certain spiritual desires and certain qualities. And right now, currently, we may be a little bit more stuck than before. stuck in this material body with this mind, with these anarthas and certain bad karma that we're experiencing, maybe due to the, like she said about Putana, there was certain curses or mistakes due to which we may be suffering this thing which can humble us. So even being a demon was helpful to her, and even I'm thinking of Vritrasura, right? Similar story. He was Shri Bhagavatam is full of so-called contradictions, like apparent contradictions, because Bhagavatam glorifies the devas and we don't encourage demoniac birth, right? But then in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vritrasura is the greatest devotee, and he's actually a demon. And so was Prahlad. He's the greatest devotee, but he is Hiranyakashipu's son, and he has a body DNA of a demon. And so it's not about the body, it's not about that, it's about the mood and the devotion behind it. And Vritrasura was telling Indra, come on, do your devotional service to Krishna, fight me. It's like, wow, that's one of my favorite scenes in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the demon is like helping Indra to defeat him, because he knows he's so focused on Krishna's will. That's a devotee. See, what is the difference between Indra and Vritrasura? It's not that whoever wins is a devotee and whoever loses is a non-devotee. No, that's not the definition. The definition of success, the definition of victory, the definition of being Krishna conscious is the one who allows Krishna's will to prevail. So Vritrasura is a great hero, not because he won. He's a great hero because he wanted Krishna's will to prevail. Isn't that interesting? So I like what Taruni was saying, because it gives me that hope that there are parts of me which is demoniac, and there are parts of me that is divine. There's a good dog and the bad dog. I just have to keep feeding the good dog. You know why? Because Krishna does that. Krishna only cares about the good dog. He doesn't care about the bad dog. He doesn't care, meaning he has opportunities to fight the bad dog. That way he cares, but he doesn't take that like humans. We say, oh, you see, you failed your promise to me, you broke your promise to me, you betrayed me, and therefore, you don't love me anymore, and we are done, and we feel so let down, right? Krishna never feels like that. He feels sad, okay, you're there, but he's Atmarama. He's not affected by our decisions. He's trying his best to help us progress, but then he gives us the free will. He doesn't interfere. It's like, wow. So the demon and the devotee is within you. It's not outside. It's within you. So let's just, I like this prayer. I learned from one of the 12-step recovery group prayers. It's called the 7th step prayer. So I go to Nrsingadev. In my case, I go to Nrsingadev and I say, dear Lord Narasimha, today I'm willing to hand over both good and bad. I'm willing to surrender both the good and bad to you. And please remove every single character defect that gets in the way of my service to you and your devotees. And please give me the strength to do your will. So this is a prayer to Nrsingadev to take care of also the demons in me, the demoniac nature in me, and at the same time protect the divine nature in me. So to acknowledge that we have both, and we can just hand it over to Krishna. We don't need to take pride in the divine. We don't need to feel sad about the demoniac side to us. Yeah, thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much. There's some point that you're saying that I especially loved a lot. I think it was about how you were saying he can appear every anytime, not just like when we think about the incarnations. Oh, this 5,000 years ago Krishna came. Oh, much before that in Satyuga Nrsingadev came. It's not like that. Like even now, how he's interacting, how he's appearing. And recently contemporary in our age, like all these great saints, they had the darshan, and some even now when we go to Vrindavan, some of the the stories that they say, it's just like so heart melting. So that's so beautiful. And it gives so much of hope, right? Like he's real, he's there.
Yeah.
We need to let him in, like how you said. We need to let him in and also open our hearts. Yeah.
And I was thinking, Taruni, like how your grandmother used to say, oh, he will churn you like anything before he will be pleased with you. Krishna, why did you choose him? Like Mahadev, usually people choose Mahadev because Mahadev is very easily pleased. He's Ashutosha. But there's also the description that when people approach Mahadev, Mahadev is so busy chanting Shri Rama Govinda Mukunda Shauri Shri Krishna Narayana Vasudeva Ityadi Nama Amritapana Bringadi Khila Dukka Hantre. So he's busy chanting the holy name of Krishna, enjoying the holy names. And then this materialistic person comes, Mahadev, give me this, Mahadev, give me that. When we go and bother him, and he's like, okay, take it, have it, go, get away, go, get lost so I can go back to my bhajan, That's Mahadev. So he immediately is pleased. He's like, okay, take it, go, don't bother me, don't bother me. But Krishna is not like that. We go and beg him and ask him. He's like, is it good for you? What are you going to do with that material desire? Oh, you want to be more confident? What are you going to do being more confident? You're just going to go become proud and go around, and you want to be respected by people. Oh, what are you going to do with that? I'm not sure that's a good thing for you. It's better where you are. It's humble for you. I have a plan for you. Just stay there. Stay put there. Krishna is like, more like disciplinary father, right? And Mahadev is like that lenient uncle. Oh, we go and say, oh, please, Mahadev, my mind is giving me so much trouble. I'm having all these addictions. Please help me. Please cure me. And Mahadev is like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, sure. I'm helping you, Let me give you a nice association of devotees. Let me do this. Let me do that for you. And Krishna is like, I think you should be without association for a while. So you realize the importance of association. So, there's this whole rasa. So I was thinking how Krishna is like, he churns us, meaning he really prepares us. He's like the best architect. He knows when to cut off the parts of us, which is not very, proud of it. And he's like, you don't need those things. Come on, let's filter out that. You can be better. I know. He really believes in it. He really, really wants us to be the best version of ourselves. We just have to let him. And that's when the tough time comes, Saturn times or something comes, Rahu, Saturn. It's very humbling because I'm not able to do things in a confident manner. I'm not having that clarity. I'm not having that self-confidence. And that's the time Krishna does his magic to humble our heart. That no other human being can humble our heart. We can't humble our hearts ourselves. Only Krishna can humble our hearts. So, wow, what a sweet Lord we have. Very sweet Lord. And oh my God, today whole day I'm going to think of Parama Karuna Paudri Jana. Nitai Gaura Chandra. I'm going to keep singing that song all day. Krishna.
I sing that paragraph every day in the morning because it's like so wonderful, right? Like they are like, what do you say? That they're like, the Ananda Kanda also, right? This is joy.
Yeah. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Absolutely.
Right. And I love the way you were telling about how why Lord Shiva just grabs all the bones because he's so absorbed and meditating on Sankarshan, his favorite Ishtadev. And
Exactly.
people are having material desires, just take it and go like, wow, what a way to like explain Mahadev's mood. Like, so beautiful. And yet,
Go get lost with your desires. You want to go down, you want to go sink down into tamas. I don't care. I'm busy chanting Sankarshan's names. There's like, but of course, if we approach him with devotional desire is different.
Yes,
Yeah, please.
yes. That's so true. But even in fact, any demigods, right now, it's the age of Mahaprabhu, right? God and Mahaprabhu. And his movement is Sankirtan. And if any of these devotees, demigod worshippers, basically, this is what I've heard from seniors, if they actually worship their demigods, not with a desire to like get something from them, but just do it so that the deity is pleased. Like what do you say? With like basically like Nishka, they just do it for the deity's pleasure, right? If they do that, right, those demigods will clear these devotees' path to somehow get associated with devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because they know this is the ultimate, that's the best that they can give, and they're ready to give. That means, association of devotees, some way they'll connect. But that is only if they go without any material desires. They are willing to do that because all the demigods, they're all aware that Gaur Mahaprabhu is the Yugadharma. I mean, he is the Yuga Avatar, and they're all waiting to just connect. And when they're all foolishly coming for material desires, and what else can they do? They have it, they have the gifts, so they just, that's the way it is, right? It's like a transaction for them.
Yeah, you remember that some time ago we were discussing how even the fulfillment of material desires, even Maya's duty is somehow or another push you towards Krishna only.
Correct, right. We had
Somehow, ultimately, yeah, because she will give frustration of those material desires, and that's Maya. She won't just, she'll allure us, and then say, hello, look here. That's what it said back of, if we turn towards Maya, we're turning our back to Krishna. Means, look, but then she'll give a little taste of it, but then push you. And that push can take us so much closer to Krishna.
so beautiful, you said, right? Srila Prabhupada, my Gurmar says this, Srila Prabhupada, every time he says this, that's how I remember. Prabhupada in New York, I believe it's a hot summer, afternoon class, and Prabhupada was saying, Maya will give you something nice, and then she'll allure you, and then you'll go, you'll be attracted towards her. And she'll be like, oh, and then you'll be like, oh, this is so nice. And Maya will give a little more, and you'll be like, oh my God, this is just so pleasurable. And then she will give a kick on your face. And then you'll be like, oh my God, what's this? And then that shock, then you'll realize, God, what am I going? What am I doing? So that's how it is. So that's her thankless service, right? We were discussing.
It's not a bad thing to get that kick, it's actually a good thing. As a devotee, we realize that.
Yeah. It's almost like dreaming, and then somebody, like the mother, putting water on the face and saying, hey, get up, it's like time, it's early morning. Get up and get to work. Like that, yes.
Yeah. Or the father who comes with a stick and beats the crap out of the kid because he's not studying for college,
True. But the only thing, what happens is, like, when we're getting those slaps and kicks and everything on the face also, right? When that thing is happening, we're so absorbed. I'm talking about myself, so absorbed. Oh my God, look at the pain, like that, right? But to just realize, oh my God, this is like the kick. Let's just turn towards Krishna. That immediate thing has to happen, right? That instead of being thinking about that, the pain, we should just. My attention should turn towards Krishna sooner. Then there's not much suffering that will happen.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
That requires a lot of consciousness, evolution in consciousness, I guess, right? And I think much more practice also keeps happening, and then you're like, okay, yes, this is what you see.
You know what you remind me, Taruni? There's a Purandara Dasa bhajan, and in that one of the lines he says, ಶೋಧಿಸಿದ ಚಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮನಾದ ವೈಷ್ಣವರ ಪಾದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೀಳಲಿಲ್ಲ. So he's glorifying, he's lamenting. It's a song of lamentation. And in that, he says that ಶೋಧಿಸಿದ ಚಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮನಾದ ವೈಷ್ಣವ means Vaishnavas are not just ordinary. Why? You know why? Because they are Shodhisodu, what do you call it? Filtering?
Yeah.
Filtered out gold. So the gold has to go through so much purification and filtering to come to that state of purity. Similarly, Vaishnavas are being filtered out by the Lord in such an intense way, and therefore they are great and they are Vaishnavas. And so it says in the song, I haven't surrendered at the lotus feet of Vaishnavas who have been filtered. I have to make up a nice statement with this in English, in proper words, because I'm not doing justice to the translation here. But Taruni, you understand language. Look at that poetry there. Shodhisida chinnakke samanada Vaishnavara padakke beedalilla. So the secret is, you were saying, elevating the consciousness, etc., etc. The secret is that this, just falling at the feet of the Vaishnavas whose hearts have been churned. Yeah, I think the word is churned. The churning has happened so intensely that they are filtered out and their purest form, like the purest gold, like that, the Vaishnava's purest qualities have come out of that churning that Krishna has done on them. So we must associate with those devotees, and that's the secret for our success and for our path of glory.
Advancement. Mm.
Yeah, advancement.
So beautiful, so beautiful. Yeah, so true. It is so true. There's no other way without their mercy. By their mercy, everything can just be taken away like this, in a second snap of a finger. They have the power to give Krishna. They have the power to take away our anarthas. How much can we do? Ultimately, there'll be a
Yeah,
point where we realize like we cannot do much. We need that mercy. Only then it can happen. By their mercy, it'll happen. By Krishna's mercy, it'll happen. We should keep trying. Doesn't mean like we don't try, but then ultimately it's their mercy, Krishna's mercy alone, that can remove all these things. We're really helpless in this world. We are helpless. But then we don't have to lose hope because the Lord is very merciful. The devotees, the pure devotees are even more merciful. So beautiful. No? Our philosophy is so nice. And it's the reality, so it's even more nice. I just feel
yeah,
so happy. I just feel so happy. I'm feeling happy and grateful.
yeah. It's true, right? This is real happiness. We cannot induce it. It comes so sweet. Me too. I'm feeling very grateful. It's such a medicine for me. Thank you
We're
so much.
connected to this. Yes. Connected to this wonderful Vaishnava parampara, right? So
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So much. Our actual worth and value, our actual greatest qualification is that we are connected to this sampradaya. Our greatest significance, I would say.
Yeah, right. I also feel there's a last point, sorry. When I think about this wonderful Vaishnava parampara, right, I also feel this kind of sense of like my own sense of responsibility kind of goes higher, thinking that, wow, look at our lineage, like how they are, like how much I need to raise my standard because I'm representing them, right? Anything that I'm doing to outside, whatever, even amongst devotees, like how grateful, how much I should feel gratitude to be part of this. And, my behavior and character should be more exemplary. Like, I feel like that, when I think about them. Yeah, when I think about them.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your thoughts and insights and participation. And special thanks to Taruni Radha for always making this classes. Like I feel like along with medicine, I also feel like these are your contributions makes me feel like